Spanning over 100,000 light years in scale, the galaxy far, far away was absolutely massive. According to Star Wars canon alone, it boasted around 400 billion stars and 3.2 million habitable systems. With that in mind, you can only imagine the wealth of creatures and aliens that populated even the most desolate of worlds. So it seems rather bizarre that the Galactic Empire only ever recruited humans for their stormtrooper ranks, right? But is there a perfectly reasonable explanation for this apparent loophole in logic? Well, my friends, let's find out. It goes without saying that the Galactic Empire was an organisation comprised of evildoers with some rather appalling doctrines and ideals. So if I were to tell you that, at least in Star Wars Legends, it actively discriminated against droids and aliens alike, you would probably believe me, right? Well, you should, as they really did. In fact, the Empire went as far as to introduce a human high culture, a policy which elevated humans above every other species. This seems to explain its preference for human stormtroopers and officers. But what about females? Were they ever allowed to serve in similar roles? Yes, surprisingly. I mean, they weren't exactly exempt from the Empire's aforementioned policy, but in Star Wars canon they were given specialised training in all-female units. For example, Unit Thorn was established on Lothal around 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. It consisted of 4 female Stormtrooper cadets who were trained to infiltrate the likes of Sentinel-class landing crafts. Now that we know why aliens were something of a rare sight in the ranks of the Galactic Empire, at what point were they accepted? Well, pretty much as soon as Emperor Palpatine kicked the bucket. Sure, humans still dominated the Stormtrooper Corps, but numerous other species were recruited due to little other choice. The Empire simply needed to replenish its ranks following the Battle of Endor somehow and chose to utilise aliens and females alike. Of course, all this information comes directly from Star Wars Legends, so it's unclear whether the First Order followed in the same vein as the Imperial Remnant and Fell Empire. But if Captain Phasma's inclusion in the sequel trilogy is anything to go by, then perhaps it's not that far-fetched of an idea. So there we have it, why exactly alien Imperial Stormtroopers were so rare. But now, I want to hear from you. Was Emperor Palpatine right to only recruit human personnel, or are you in favour of diversity in the sci-fi workplace? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to help out the channel, you can always donate via Patreon. No pressure, this is a no peer pressure zone. But for weekly Star Wars lore content, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the Kargazans.